Okay team, first part of the flow, pretty straightforward. Let's jump right in. We set loaded beast. Right leg, front step, through. Pop back to loaded beast, right leg, front kick through. Pop back to left leg, side kick through. Left leg jumping under switch into left arm, crab reach. Return to crab into right leg under switch to loaded beast. Now, I want to pause here and just share a tip. We have this right leg theme going on where anytime we're in loaded beast for this first part, we're initiating with right leg. So from the top, it was a right leg front step through. The next time we're in loaded beast, it's a right leg beast reach. So that may be helpful for your newer flowists. Okay, so let's say I'm back in loaded beast. I go right leg beast reach, right leg, scorpion reach, return to loaded beast using the known path for scorpion reach. Okay, so that brings us to the completion of part one. Okay, so let's jump into part two. We're already in loaded beast. We're going to slide to right leg under switch. So from loaded beast, we slide to right leg under switch. Next up, we have a left leg under switch into right leg reaching under switch. Really fun opportunity here to utilize our rotary arms, and you may even hear me say helicopter the arms. Let me review. We're in crab, left leg under switch to ape into right leg reaching under switch to right side. Notice the heel slide, crocodile roll into. We've got another heel slide. Notice left hand is close to ground but not touching. The next movement is a roll through that turns into another crocodile roll. Couple things on your roll through. One, don't internally rotate the hand. Keep the fingers forward, although you will still stagger the hand. Okay. So I go left leg, roll through into left side. Here's another heel slide, crocodile roll. Into, we've got another heel slide. Left leg under switch to front step, through. Pop back to left leg under switch. Up next, right leg under switch into baboon or traveling baboon. Super fun transition. Very similar to an under switch to ape. The difference is we send the hips up as we send the head down in order to complete the transition. So watch this. Right leg under switch into right traveling baboon. So hips up, head down. I'm going to bring this arm around, synchronize it with the front foot. Land hand and then hand. Now, you all know, unless I have my float and my tuck balance, if I were performing a lateral traveling ape, I'm always going to land with both hands at the same time. But a baboon follows different rules. In a baboon, you can absolutely land with one hand and then the second hand. And in fact, it creates a very cool rhythmic expression of the movement. Okay, so let's say I had made ground contact. I perform my repetition. I'm going to act like I'm going for a second repetition. This is where I start to see the foot rotate outward. I plant the hands, and then I redirect as I turn it into a scorpion sweep. Now, if I'm in a group who's only doing part one and part two, I may take that scorpion sweep and just stop and ape. Or I may continue the rotation and turn it into a right leg reaching under switch. And it's really up to you and your group. Okay, so let's check out the third part. For part three, I'm coming out of my scorpion sweep, so I have a lot of motion or a lot of momentum that I've already built. As I take my scorpion sweep, I'm then going to break the rotation and leap into my front kick through. So let's say I had just performed my scorpion sweep and I'm now facing in this direction. Whenever I leap to my left leg front kick through, I'm going to immediately turn it into a heel slide. As I'm sliding and taking my crocodile roll, it's very important that I take this traveling leg and I get the foot up as close as I can to the same side hand, and I continue into the heel drop. Once here, I'm in that wide base for an LTA3. I transition, then all I have to do is take that front foot, rotate it out, and I find my front step. Once in front step, in order for me to get into my scorpion sweep, two things have to happen. One, I'm going to push on the gas. I'm going to begin to rotate as I start to bring my traveling hand towards the ground. Then I'll take my scorpion sweep. Now, the next sequence is a reverse reaching underswitch into spinning underswitch into underswitch to ape. So let's break that down. Let's say I just taken my scorpion sweep and it puts me here. I then go for my left leg reverse reaching underswitch, which then turns into a spinning underswitch, drive and swing, which turns into a right leg underswitch to ape. From here, I drive and swing again. My motion is going that way. I'm going to act as if I were going for a lateral traveling ape. So I'm going to start to place my hands. But instead of placing them like this, I'm going to plant them as a setup for a rotating ape, which means my right fingers are forward, my left fingers at a perpendicular angle. I then land with my left toes in the same direction as my left fingers. That sets me up for my right leg front sweep. So let me just reverse. I plant, hop the foot, sweep the leg out. Now notice how I already have both elbows bent. I'm going to try to sweep the leg as far as I can. Once this leg hits this arm, that's as far as I have to sweep. Then I just reverse it and turn it into a scorpion sweep. Now keep in mind, that scorpion sweep is going to have a ton of momentum. So we need to take that and turn it directly into our reaching underswitch, which turns into the crocodile roll. So let's say I took my front sweep here. I turn into the scorpion sweep. I go reaching underswitch into left side crocodile roll, into right leg roll through to crocodile. Now, whenever I'm setting up for that roll through to crocodile, I'm going to plant my hands parallel to each other, so in line with each other. So let's say I were facing in this direction. I go up and over, I plant, I find that scorpion shape of a roll through, then I bend the base leg, shoot the traveling limbs backwards. Once in crocodile, I take a left leg front kick through, pop back to reverse traveling bear, then right leg underswitch into right side, crocodile roll 2, and this is where I have my lateral pop out to front step. Let's say I don't have a high lateral pop out. That's okay. The most important part is my directionality or where I'm facing in the room. So let's say I were performing my crocodile roll facing this direction. Whenever I do my lateral pop out, I call this drawing the rainbow. I can draw a small rainbow as long as when I finish, I'm facing this direction again. So I don't have to do this really high lateral pop out to front step. It can be quite small as long as I finish facing in the correct direction. So let's say I just performed my lateral pop out to front step. You do have the option of either just stopping there and finishing the flow in front step, or setting loaded beast, which is how the flow is written. All right, team, there it is, your International Animal Flow Day. Flow. Enjoy this one.